It's Bill Bing for Bill Bing's Trumpet Talk, and it's August the 15th, 2018. And tonight's Trumpet Talk will be focused on photos, pictures. And I have some pictures that I took when I was much younger. Many of these were taken probably 40 years ago. And they are pictures of trumpet players that I think you probably will recognize their names, perhaps, although some of you are young enough that you might not know some of these people. But they were people that were very important to me. And what I'm trying to do is, by putting these photos up, encourage you to take pictures. It's so easy now with the camera on all our phones to just go ahead and take a picture. And it's so much fun for me to look back on these pictures now, because all these people have meant something to me in my life, and it's a lot of fun to go back and look at these pictures. And so my hope is that you'll go out and start taking pictures, and in 40 years maybe you'll put some of these up, and yeah, I look forward to seeing them. So I'm going to start. I guess I've got a list of the photos here. I'm going to start with a picture of Manny Klein, who was my mentor. I met when I first came to Los Angeles, and it turned out we had a wonderful relationship. He was very kind to me, and I used to go to his house once a week, and we'd play together, and never charged me a dime, but was great company and introduced me to a lot of the players that you'll see in these pictures. So the next picture is Jimmy Stamp and Charlie Colin. And Jimmy Stamp, of course, the great trumpet teacher and player. Charlie Colin, also a fine player out of the New York area, and his publishing company continues to be one of the best publishing companies for brass music. So here's a picture of Jimmy Stamp and Charlie Colin together. And following that is a picture of Rafael Mendez and Frank Catarabic. And I had the good fortune to study with Frank Catarabic when I was in Detroit, and ended up playing quite a bit with the Detroit Symphony as fourth trumpet, and chance to work with Frank, and what a great trumpet player. Ended up playing first trumpet in the Philadelphia Orchestra for many years, and a wonderful teacher besides. Then there's a picture of me all dressed up in my stage best for on-stage trumpet for the Daughter of the Regiment in San Antonio Symphony. That was my first job out of college, and had the good pleasure of playing in a great trumpet section with Tony Plogue and Glenn Fischel. We were all pretty young and very good colleagues, and we enjoyed playing together very much. So after that, speaking of Tony Plogue, here's a picture of young Tony Plogue. We roomed together, and here's a picture of Tony playing his trumpet. It was hard to get a picture of Tony not playing his trumpet. He practiced a lot. And then, speaking of Glenn Fischel, who ended up playing first trumpet in the San Francisco for many years, one of the great trumpet players I've had the pleasure of working with, certainly one of the most natural players. Just a terrific fellow and amazing player. Claude Gorgon is one of my teachers, and I had the good fortune of studying with him for a few years, so I'm happy to include this picture of Claude Gorgon. Following that is a picture of another good friend and mentor, Rob Roy McGregor. And this is a picture, I can't remember exactly where I took it, but I think it was when Rob was either finishing up his degrees at Michigan, or possibly at an audition somewhere after he had finished up at West Point. I can't remember exactly. And then finally there's a picture of Boyde Hood, Malcolm McNab, and Walt Johnson. And Malcolm, of course, being the great studio artist with a couple of amazing CDs, and Boyde Hood, the trumpet player with the LA Phil, who has taught so many students at USC, and Walt Johnson, who was the lead trumpet player for Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley. Know that the shirt that Malcolm is wearing is a caricature that Manny Klein used to put on his music. Manny had this stamp made up because Manny had such a big nose that he would have this stamp, and you could always tell when you were playing a piece of music that had been played by Manny, because he had that little logo. So enjoy these pictures, and please go out and take some pictures and delight us with your photos in years to come. So take care. I hope everybody's doing well, and that you continue to enjoy playing the trumpet, because it's a great way to spend some time and avoid doing the dishes. but that's our little secret. Okay, take care. Bye bye.